Good morning, everyone. I hope that you can hear me bright and early. Sorry, it took me a couple of moments this morning because I got a lot of requests this morning to add people to the group and get people started, but I'm glad that you're here. And definitely let me know when you're on and how it's going for you this morning. It's so beautiful to be with you. And we have a special guest. My cat is here too. Hopefully she'll stick with us the whole time. Hi, good morning, Sherry. Good morning, Julia. It's really helpful for everyone to just type in where you're from. That way we know who's here in the room. And even if you're watching the replay, let us know where you're from and everything. So we're about to get started. We're going to do a little morning meditation and some journaling. You should try to budget about 30 minutes, but you could always jump off at the end if we're not done yet. And I would love to get it down to 20 minutes, but it seems like we always end up at 30 minutes. So we'll see how that goes in the future. So just to recap, here you are. This is the beginning of your morning practice, or it's the reboot of your morning practice, depending on where you are in all of this. And we are from all over the world. We have people from Guatemala, we have people from New Zealand, we have people from Germany. There are folks who are obviously all across the US, and I live here in Napa, California, where it is a little bit dark still, as we can't really see the background anymore. And my household is still asleep, and we're getting ready. I mentioned something yesterday in the orientation call, if you remember. I was saying, I've got this wonderful journal I want to tell you all about. And I'm just going to show you really briefly before we get into the morning meditation, and we're waiting for a couple more people to sign on. And it's this. It's called the Morning Sidekick Journal. And it's a sweet little thing. I got it first time I ordered it, I found it on Instagram, and then I later ordered it directly from the site. And it's a great kind of pace yourself, set yourself up for a morning practice thing. And the thing I like about it, they have all their own things in here about setting up a morning practice, but I love this thing where they give you every day, there's this sheet that says, what is my magical moment I experienced today? So this is if you were recapping from the day before. And the benefits you felt today from doing your morning practice. And then my morning practice tomorrow will be, it has a little checkbox. And I love this, it's so simple. And then my most important task for today, and the one way I can improve my life by 1% is. But I love this because I find that just tracking whether or not you're doing a morning practice, whether it's through this thing or something else, it's just really helpful as a way to keep going and get started, to keep that momentum going. So just another little tip. Hey Carolyn, hey Lily, glad you found your way here. We're just about to get started. And one thing that you'll want to have with you, if you don't already, is an actual journal with my handy dandy notebook. And because we'll do some journaling right after the morning meditation practice. So why don't we jump into that? If you're ready, you can get yourself comfortable, whether that's sitting. I don't recommend lying down for a morning practice. It is risky behavior, but if you know that you're going to stay up and your body wants that, you can do that. Or even standing and moving, if you can still hear me in doing that. I always love to give my body a little bit of a stretch and some attention before I do some meditation. You might want to point and flex your feet, give your neck a neck roll. Even if you've just come from yoga, sometimes I find just sitting for a couple minutes while we do our intro can be enough to stiffen you up. So noticing what your body wants. And then from that place, you can either let your eyes close or softly focus as if you were daydreaming. It just really depends on what works for you, and what makes you feel safe, and like you're able to tune inward without falling asleep. Let's start this morning with a quick little scan, just noticing how is everything in my body, how is everything in my mind, What's going on in my heart today? And letting yourself begin to pay attention to the breath. So many different meditation traditions around the world, no matter where they may be coming from, many of them focus on the breath as a way of turning inward and focusing. And so paying attention to the breath, allowing it the rise and fall of it, the ebb and flow of it, to bring you a little bit more inward and a little bit more softness. And as you breathe, you might want to allow your breath to deepen into your heart area, releasing anything in the heart area that feels staticky or stuck. You can breathe deep in your breath and bring it into the belly a little more. And from the place of your breath, whether it's further up in your mind or your heart or your belly, invites you to drop down with the power of your imagination and intention. Start to draw your energy down through your body into your hips, your sacrum area, and down from there as if you could drop roots into the ground below you, plugging in and reconnecting to the earth. Even if your roots need to drop through concrete, other people's apartments, whatever it is, allowing those roots to drop down out of your body into this good green earth, letting them go past the crust of the earth more deeply into places of water, into places of stone. These roots dropping down as far as feels comfortable to you. You might even allow them to drop down and feel a place of warmth down there, the heart of the mother. So that when you have this feeling, or at least you can imagine this feeling of being connected to the earth below you, this strength and nurturing and nourishment of the earth and the abundance of the earth is available to you. You can begin to pull up some of that earth energy and maybe even some of the water and stone and fire, all of those energies from the earth into your own body, which is earth also. Paying special attention to where your seat is on the earth, all of the parts of you that are touching the ground, and drawing up feeling that energy, pulling it up with your breath, going into your feet, your legs, your sex, your hips, your heart, feeling it flow down your arms into your hands, making some openness and clarity in the throat, openness and clarity in the mind, and even maybe pulling it up so far that it swirls around you out the top of your head like a fountain. Now that we're here in the head again, I'd like to invite you to notice the light that is on the back of your eyes. There's darkness behind your eyes if they're closed, and there's light. Or if your eyes are open, just noticing the light in the space, even in early morning, whatever light is present. And using this feeling of being connected to the earth and being really open to the heavens above, you can imagine that this light can take form, or that you're reaching up into the stars and that you're really connecting to that star energy. To bring into your mind's eye the vision of a star, something that could be your North Star, your divine connection. It helps you have alignment and notice when you're going in the right direction. And you can pull down some of that light and some of that energy of alignment and connection with the power of your imagination and intention, pulling it down from behind your eyes and from the heavens below, back into your heart. Letting that light, that star, take energy, take root here. And from this place of connection to heaven and earth, feeling into the year ahead of you, opening a space for visioning inside of yourself. And looking ahead, not only with a sense of what will be, but what you would like to be, what you desire. So what is already in motion and also what is emerging. As you look into the future, what is there for you? We're going to go through just 5 places in your life that are particularly, seem to really be important to a lot of people. So let's look ahead. What do you want? What seems to be coming ahead for you? In terms of your work in the world and the things that you create, the things you're inspired to create, looking ahead. Just being with whatever comes, whether it is silence or whether you have images or thoughts, notions or feelings. Taking a last moment to feel into this question is what is ahead for you this year for your work in the world. And then again, feeling into and looking into what is ahead for you in terms of your relationships, the love that you have in your life. What would you like to create or focus on in terms of your relationships this year? It's okay if you don't know the hows of any of this. So you don't need to know any of that right now. All you need to know is what is it that you want and what is emerging for you. And next, looking forward, what is coming for you? What is it that you want to create in terms of your home and your financial life and your abundance this year? The way that you live in this world. What do you want to plant or grow? And just a couple more, we just have a couple more moments. The next one is, what is it that you want to grow or emerge or heal in terms of your wellness, in terms of your physical, emotional, mental body? What does your wellness look like this year? What are the practices you want to put into place? What are the things that you want to transform and shift within the wellness? Last but not least, certainly not least, what would you like to transform or grow or deepen in terms of your connection to that which is greater? Whatever you call that, God, goddess, divine, the earth itself. What is it that feels important to deepen into? When you're ready, you can open your eyes and give your body another stretch. Oh. And today we're going to journal about that, about what came up during that meditation, and what is it that you want to create for yourself in these 5 areas. The area of your work in the world and your creative work that you're doing, your relationships, your home and material life, your financial life, your wellness, and your connection to that which is greater. And you might write about one of these, you might write about all 5, whichever works for you. And we're going to take, usually we would do this for 10 minutes, we're going to take just 8 minutes so that we can finish pretty close to our agreed upon time and still have a little time for closure. So when you're ready, you can pick up your pen and get started with that. Just another minute or two. So let's go ahead and finish up whatever that last thought is, knowing that you can come back to this at any point that you would like to. And I'm going to do two things right now. One is I always love to finish these morning meditations with a song that I learned from a dear friend of mine named Rebecca Reeder, who has since passed on. And I want to let you know that after we do the song, I'm going to stay on a couple of minutes just to answer any questions you might have about the program or anything else if there's something like that. And if you don't have anything, you have to get off to take your kids to school or whatever. Please go ahead and do that. But just to let you know. So the words of this song are Blessed Mother, morning has come. Love to our family and to all creation. Help us today to follow our knowing. Gratefulness abounds for our beautiful lives. And I love singing this song in the morning. And you're welcome to sing it with me as you learn it. Obviously no one could hear you, but I think singing a song of devotion in the morning is great. And if Blessed Mother as a way of referring to the divine or that which is greater does not work for you, please put in whatever it does. Blessed Earth or Blessed Divine or whatever you want to say. This is a song. Blessed Mother, morning has come. Love to our families and to all creation. Help us today to follow our knowings. Gratefulness abounds for our beautiful life. Blessed Mother, morning has come. Love to our families and to all creation. Help us today to follow our knowings. Gratefulness abounds for this beautiful life. So blessed morning to you. Congrats on your first morning practice with us. I hope that that was fulfilling, and I would love to hear from you in the comments here or so in the comments so that we can all kind of keep it together, but another post if you must. Just what came up for you in terms of what is emerging for your new year. And you can go back and listen to this video at any point or do this meditation on your own as a way of getting more and more clarity about what it is that you want to create or nurture this coming year. And if it was early in the morning for you, you weren't able to get a lot of things coming through, maybe this is a new time of waking up, just come back to it, because we're going to keep drawing from the kinds of reflections and answers that you got in that morning meditation throughout the week and probably throughout the practice overall. So, and so it's really helpful to do it, and maybe even do it more than once. All right, so that's it for me. If you have questions, I'm here and I'm ready. So please go ahead and put them in the chat box, whatever those questions may be, or just say hi. I like that too. And if you don't, we'll just say good morning and go. While I'm waiting to see if there's questions, I'm just going to brag that my morning brew. So this is B for Breathe. If you looked at the Blessed Brews handout, which is all about things that you can make in the morning, you'll see that I talk about, I love coffee and it's amazing, and I do all these herbal coffees. And I used to tell everyone that my love of coffee was holy and pure, because I really do love coffee very much. But it turns out that my love of coffee is not actually pure, because I did a food sensitivity test this fall, and it turns out that I'm sensitive to coffee. And so I can't drink it right now because I'm in the midst of my own healing journey. Maybe in the future I'll be able to, but I can't. So I've been on the lookout for alternatives to coffee, and a lot of times I do use chai tea, but this is actually a bone broth, which I'm going to give you guys a recipe for. And it has bone broth. This time it has chicken bone broth. I liked it a little bit better yesterday when I did it with beef bone broth. And cacao. I know you're like, what? Meat and chocolate? That makes no sense. But if you think like in various traditions in Mexico and Latin America, South America, they often combine chicken and cacao or chocolate. So it has both of those things, and a little bit of almond coconut milk, and something called MCT oil, which makes your brain light up. And I gotta say, it's delicious. It's not quite as energizing as coffee, it's true, but I am liking it a lot. So I'm gonna give you guys the recipe for that. And it seems like no questions today. I'm not seeing anything pop up. Thanks again for joining me, whether you're doing this live or in the replay, wherever you are in the world. Please do take a moment to reflect back in the group, like I said, about what came through to you in the meditation, and I will see you all tomorrow morning. Take care.